The repeal of Obamacare has failed, done in by a fractured Republican Party. Facing certain defeat, the Speaker of the House pulled the bill that would have begun to replace President Obama's Affordable Care Act of 2010. There were more than enough Republicans to pass the measure, but the president, who said that he could negotiate better than any politician, was not able to muster enough of them. Last night, Mr. Trump miscalculated, issuing a CEO's ultimatum. He told Republicans that if they didn't pass his bill today, they could forget the whole thing. He'd leave Obamacare in place. It is, at least for now. Chip Reed begins our coverage.
I've been saying for the last year and a half that the best thing we can do, politically speaking, is let Obamacare explode.
The president tried to put a positive spin on the failure to pass the Republican Party's top legislative priority, and he showed no bitterness toward those who share the blame.
I want to thank the Republican Party. I want to thank Paul Ryan.
But for Speaker Paul Ryan, who has spent 7 years railing against Obamacare, it was devastating.
I will not sugarcoat this. This is a disappointing day for us.
He said he hopes to try again, but has no idea when that will be.
And Obamacare is the law of the land. It's going to remain the law of the land until it's replaced. We're going to be living with Obamacare for the foreseeable future.
That conclusion followed 5 hours of impassioned debate between Republican supporters of the bill.
Obamacare's collapsing, premiums are skyrocketing, providers are fleeing. This may well be our last off-ramp on this road to ruin.
And Democratic opponents.
I will fight every single attempt to turn a deaf ear, a blind eye, and a cold shoulder to the sick.
But the real action was going on behind closed doors, where Ryan and his deputies were desperately trying to convince dozens of their fellow Republicans to vote yes. Many conservatives opposed the bill because it didn't go far enough to repeal Obamacare. But some moderate Republicans say it went too far and could leave 24 million Americans without health insurance over the next decade.
Did you have the vote?
Vice President Pence went to Capitol Hill for one last try with his former colleagues in the Conservative Freedom Caucus, but to no avail.
My vote's still a no.
This afternoon, Ryan went to the White House to tell the president the bad news, that they did not have the votes.
I told him that the best thing I think to do is to pull this bill, and he agreed with that decision.
Last month, former Republican Speaker John Boehner said this: in the 25 years that I served in the United States Congress, Republicans never, ever, one time agreed on what a health care proposal should look like. Not once. Scott, it appears that record is still standing.
Chip Reed at the Capitol.